Okay, good.
I see
So
I see there's going to be a big
yeah,
conflict.
we're on the top of the page. Vehu adin.
Yeah, Hagamda, I didn't look at this, but I can see there's a lot of conflict going to
With
happen because
as is Avi's coming on, or we don't know.
ich habe nicht keine Ahnung. The embassies, I haven't spoken to him
Yeah,
this
maybe I didn't
afternoon.
see him on the thing, but
Let me send him a text. Okay, he's getting off the client and he's going to get on now.
okay, good.
Yeah. Okay, he said we should start without him.
Okay, fine. So fine. So far we spoke about what's by Davar Avud. That by Davar Avud, how he can't go back, and to what degree you can collect on him. But if it's an einus, then it's different.
Right.
And what happens if he had an einus and he goes back, then he returns to work. So now we come to Malamet.
He said it's going to be Medama, Melamed to an Eved soon.
Right. So we had the whole thing. Right. We had that whole the whole thing in the shach over there.
Yeah, but it seems Leachar Kol HaMaisa is even though en Gufo Konui.
Right. That was the shach's.
Yeah.
Um, that he doesn't like this idea because because even somebody who's long term v'chulu, it's gufay nikoni, and as we know that the pale he has well, it's David Ovutz, so he doesn't have the same but it's not gufay koni.
Let me explain was geht vor though, as I say, because
Yeah.
yesterday everything pointed the other way, lechoira.
Right. Right.
Okay,
So yeah.
let me
Yeah.
chaduch arbiten. This is going to be work. Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Who hadin lemelamed? The way the Smez learning who hadin is the same would apply to Melamed who got sick. That what? That if he accepted him bestam, right?
Yeah.
And he didn't say anything about deduction, obviously, at the time of the hiring, right? At the time, he's talking about the time of the hiring.
Meaning when he's talking about when he's rehiring him, meaning
Rehiring him.
when he's rehiring him, yeah, he doesn't tell him I'm deducting the amount when you were gone. So
Yeah,
if he
that's
doesn't tell if he doesn't tell him, we
keep
can
keep
we
lo
assume for
investar
him.
means keep I feel he didn't mention anything. I
Right.
didn't
He said nothing. He was silent about it.
he was
Without
silent
telling
about
you.
it, right? So let's say the SME because it's a small one, it just gives you
Yeah.
push the shot on those
It
two
gives yeah,
things.
yeah. Right,
והוא
right.
הדין המלמד שחולו, נירא דגם במלמד עם חוזר בר הבייס וקיבל בסתם ולא יאמר לנקוסוי. And it doesn't say at the time of the rehire that I am deducting the previous days that you were missing, that in such a case that tzorech leshalem kol schori, that he's obligated to pay even for the missing days, because the zil bosar tam de'eved, because we apply the same logic as we did in the case of the Eved.
Yeah.
The Amrin, and that in the case of the Eved, we said that, right?
Yeah.
Mideloi hisna vibald, since he did not make a condition about not paying him for the time he was missing. Mochaloi, it means that he forgoes it, that the Barabos, the higher, is Moichel, the days that he was missing. That was a din by the Eved, right? That's what we said. Vehu
Yeah.
hadin b'melamed. The same would apply by melamed. Now the Sache ist so. Sounds good and fine and schön, you know, aber bei Joffe ist das nicht. I'll tell you why. Joffe is the last one. You know, man sagt, das Zibuk soll Eule Joffe sein. You know, that
Yeah.
means Emes, Yatzi, Venochen,
Yeah.
Bekan, Biz Joffe.
Yeah.
This is the Biz Joffe. I'll tell you why, because what did we establish yesterday? We established that since that is Gufa Konui Davkai bei ein Evet, oder mit gesagt bei Melam ist nicht so. The Shach said that.
That's by the Shach. Yeah.
Yeah. So are we to say over here that the Shach and the Smeh are at odds with each other because the Shach says that the by the Evet
It would seem, because I mean he
would
says
seem that way,
the
right?
zeal here. Look at his words. The zeal basar tam de Evid. And
Right.
and clearly the Shach says in the Shach
That
was not okay with the zeal basar
really
tam de Evid.
the Shach said yesterday that we do not apply the dinim of an Eved by somebody that not go for Gufa Konui. We said it
Right.
very, very
Right.
clearly
Yeah.
yesterday.
So that's so the Chura, yeah.
Unless I'm going gaga, that's what I remember learning with
Yeah.
you.
And
And in
and and
fact,
and the truth is, I think that the Shach agrees with the Smeh that that's what the Ramah is saying.
yeah, right.
He doesn't like
Except
that this
that,
is what the Ramah is saying.
yeah, but the
But
Shach
but the
argued.
Smeh is the Smeh. It seems l'chure he's teaching the Ramah the same way. Only he's not arguing on him. Where the Shach is arguing on it.
But I remember yesterday the Shach brought
He
this
brings the Ramah. He
Haggadah.
brings
I bring the money argues with him.
yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I,
And l'chure, there's no stira in how they touch up the Ramah. It's just that the
no,
Shach argues with the Ramah.
right. Now the Zachir Zoy, we were misamek a little bit in the Smeh, right? We should know why he doesn't, because the Chayda, the Shach is saying a very strong taina.
Yeah.
Shach is saying by Gufa Konui, there's, I mean, you know, he's obligated to take care of him. He's not always avid just because he's sick.
So
Anders is a
yeah,
case of
yeah,
a
no. So
Svidiyim.
so he's obligated, but there's two different things here. There's one thing is that the balabas is required to care for him. On top of caring for him, he's also paying off his debts. So the caring for him he has to do because gofikonili. At the same time, the question is how about the question the question is not on the taking care feeding him. The question is on the aspect of does he have to pay his debts or not?
Generally speaking, when we talk about here that Evan getting paid, he's not getting paid a salary. Avodim don't get paid salary. They get room and board for free, right? And then it means that in the case of he's paying, let's say, because of a geneva. He's paying because of a geneva. He's working because he's a geneva.
Yeah, yeah. So the question is he paying this off?
Oh,
Meaning, meaning, meaning,
with
meaning there's one thing that while you're working for me, I have to feed you. Fine,
yeah,
so I'm feeding
yeah,
you, but while you're sick, do I have to continue paying off your paying off
exactly.
from your Geneva?
It's like a what do you call it? Like how do you say? It's like a make believe payment because you know very well.
Right. So the question is he still deduct? Do I still have to do I still have to make this even if it's a theoretic payment?
Ich mean over here what we should do. I think this is something that the Ketzos will talk about it.
It sounds like a Gitzais thing, huh?
Yeah, yeah. This is Lomdus, and Itaka talks about it. Look, it's the first Ketzos in that of the next shtickle, but he's going to
So
deal
you know what? Let's do inside then. Let's do inside the Ramah, the whole part that
the
talks
whole
about
Ramah,
Melamed.
right?
Yeah,
Because
or at least until on as long as he's talking about Melamed. So we get the
yeah,
whole
yeah,
picture of what he's saying about Melamed.
yeah, agreed,
Then we
agreed. And
can
then we'll do the Shach and the Shach and Smeh.
and we can look at the in
And
the
then we
Ketzois
look at
also.
the, but we should make a point of looking at the Ketzois because it's
Yeah,
he's going to deal with
he's
this.
going to clarify. Yeah,
You know, the good thing is when you get used to it, you know exactly what to look out for because this is
you're right.
very, very
They all have a certain style and a certain thing they
it's a
pick up.
style,
Yeah,
and you know this is not clear. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
The first thing is not clear is that you see the Smer is not even dealing with the disagreement of the Shach that he has with the Shach.
Right.
You know, like it's totally like it's not an issue. You know, that's my question.
Well,
Listen, favos.
the other interesting part is that is that the Shach doesn't bring the Smeh. That's very interesting also. Because usually, if he's going to tie on the
Yeah,
Ramah, he's
well,
going to say,
that wasn't
and the Smet takes up as Leiva in Italy.
the
He
the
doesn't bring
Smer.
this Smet. He doesn't bring it all.
That's a big question. The Smer can bring the
Also,
Shach because it's earlier than the Shach. The Smer was earlier than the Shach. You never
right,
hear
and
this.
and generally the Shach is very quick to any time he'll say
But
v'chein kos of asmeh, and then he'll say immediately. He's the Shach is
yeah,
very fast to jump on the smeh. So
right.
surprisingly, he didn't.
But basically, you have to agree with me that over here, Red Dog again, we're talking about here a situation that requires a little bit more analysis in this because this is like it's
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
it's
it's
it's a
very
very strong taina the Shach has. It's a lomdish
yeah,
taina, and if he's not going to go with it, it's a chayra, even if he didn't see the but zicha he should deal with it, even if he didn't hear it from. But
right.
okay, but we'll I think the choice will panem for the whole thing. Okay.
Yeah,
והוא הדין למלמד שכולו, ונראה דגם מלמד, okay, we did this already, right.
right. So yeah,
Okay, והוא הדין למלמד שכולו,
Megan
שכולו
Yisrael, yeah.
שמנקן לו דמי חוליוי. So
Meaning,
according to
meaning, 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 meaning. If he
if he
told him,
told
but
him,
not right,
the
but
truth of
not
the matter,
bistam, right? And the Smet
the
points
truth,
out that but bistam, just like anybody, but if bistam, then no.
the Shach says on this Shmeh that the reason why it's even bestam at any rate, unless he rehires him befedish. The Shach says over here that he's always menake because then gufa konoyolo.
Right, that's the Shach says, yeah,
Yeah, and the Shmeh says only
right. Only if he
if
said,
befadish,
yeah,
only if he said.
but
Okay,
bistam, and he said nothing.
then
Then
if he said
then
nothing,
medamin le'avid, yeah,
right.
fine.
ומיהו אם כבר קיבל הפועל, אוי המלמד סחורוי. By the way, everything that we say about melamed goes on the poil also. Except we had something not like that. You remember before? Remember we had something. There was a difference about a melamed because he's going to get burnt out from not working.
Right, that by a malamid you can't
But I
you can't
think as far
by
as yeah,
malamid you can't pay him kapel bottle.
yeah, but I think as
That
far
was
as the
the nafkamina. It was yeah.
yeah, but I think as far as the rehire is concerned, because he says very clearly, look,
Yeah.
ומיהו אם כבר קיבל הפועל, אוי המלמד שכורוי, יש אומרים, דאינו צריך להחזיר. וואו. ומלמד החויזר בוי מקרה, אינו צריך להחזיר,
Right, and if you
it doesn't,
and if you remember
yeah, but he doesn't have to be,
the Shach argued on this also.
he doesn't have to להחזיר the mois, I guess, right?
Yeah, And the Shach, and if you remember, the Shach argued on in that same long Shach. The Shach argued on this also. The Shach didn't hold that way.
Right. Umelamed hachoizer boy mikre dover overs.
Yeah.
And a melamed who returns back to work is
Or no, it's
considered
no, not he returns, but he a Malamed who quits. It's
here
called
means
Davar
quit,
Ovid. The Malamed's not allowed to quit.
or here means quit.
Yeah, to the point where there's where there was later Paiskim, there was Achreinim that held. Now today it's a little bit different because we go Basar the Minug Medina and the Dina Medina for employment. But there was Achreinim who hold that
Yeah.
if a Malamed quits in the middle of the year, Yodel ala Tachtaina, because it's a
Can't
Davar
get paid anything. You can't
that
get
the,
paid
that,
nothing.
that that the principal, if it costs him more, he deducts it from the Malamed. If it costs more to hire somebody to finish off the year. Bepayel, that's not the way it is nowadays for the most part, because we go after like after the minog and the malchusa.
In a machusa, okay.
But
Umelamed hachoizer and a melamed who quits, boy, mikre dover ha'ovud, and therefore what?
so
And therefore you
so
don't
all
get.
everything we said before by Bedover Avud, just like by Pishton and all these things, right? He's in Yochel Lachzer Bey, and he can take from him even what do you call it? Right, Elohim im Kenanas.
Yeah.
So he's
But here, this is not nenas. This is a case of choizer. He quits berotzen.
yeah. So he can what do you call it? He can so all the things that we said by David Ovid apply to him. Meaning that a Melamed who quits is always considered David Ovid.
Yeah. Mikre dover ha'ovud. V'chein soifer ha'mekabel lichtus sefer echod v'choizer boy mikre dover ha'ovud.
Right.
Melamdin.
Why? Because you can because two people writing one. It's like imagine you have two seifrim writing one mezuzah. It's like
Different handwriting.
yeah. It's like
Yeah. No matter how close they are in Ksav, you're going to tell that it's different. מלמדים דינן כשאר פועל שצריכים לעשות כמנהג בכל זאת מיקי דבר עבוד. מלמדים דינן כשאר פועלים שצריכים לעשות כמנהג להשכים או להריב, כמו שנסבור ואוסר לעשות מלאכתו עם הלומד, או לינור בלילה יוצא מדי, או למעט, או להרבס ומייכו.
right, he has to keep himself fit for teaching based on what's normal for that place. That he can't party and go to sleep very late.
He can't write at all hours, and he can't.
Right, he can't, he can't wake up. He has to wake up at the normal hours and go to sleep in normal hours, and all these things that's considered normal. That will be mafriya to his work as a malamed. Right, to sleep too much, to sleep too little, to eat too much,
Yeah.
to eat too little.
Yeah.
V'chol ha'meshana yodi al tachtoina. Ma'avirin on me.
ומעברין ליה.
Yeah, and I guess you can fire him based on that. And yodi al tachtoina because he's at fault for his
שכר עצמו שוכר עצמו לזמן, if he hide himself for a time period, יש לו דין פועל, אבל אם שוכר עצמו ללמוד ספר או חצי ספר, יש לו דין כוון.
right, because one is gavra and one is chefza, like we were saying before.
Yeah, I know somebody who learns Mishnayos every day. he's a paid learner,
Yeah.
and he finishes X amount of Mishnayos, etc.
Oh, so it goes by amount, by X amount. He
I think
finishes,
so.
not X amount.
I,
No,
I
no. So this is the
checked.
perfect case. This is the perfect case. If his deal is that he learns X amount of hours of Mishnayis, then
Yeah,
dina kisachir. If his deal is he finishes a set amount of Mishnayis per day, then dina kikablin.
yeah. But I smash him from here that either way he shouldn't sleep too late or that because that's even by listen by a schir
Yeah,
yoim
yeah,
by a
yeah. I think,
poil.
yeah, I think by
I
either
think
it's
yeah because it's
because look, like you would say, like usually by a kablin, it's none of your business by the kablin, right? Like who cares what he's
yeah
subject in? He has a job to do. But in this case, intrinsically, by doing that, he can't do the job properly. So
yeah
even al kablin, because he can't do the job properly, even though he didn't say for a certain amount of time, he did it by a safer. But either way, you can't do the job properly if you're
yeah.
yeah,
That's what I thought. Yeah,
yeah, I
that's
agree.
what.
I agree.
אין לך את זה מלמדים דין כשאר פועלים שצריכים לעשות כמין הגס. לא ימד אוי בלילה, okay, fine. ואוי למית או להרבס במיchael, because a person who eats too little, it can't concentrate properly,
Right, and it's too
or if
much.
he eats
Also,
too much, he get tired very fast.
yeah.
משני יודע על התחתינו ומעברין לי, אני throw him out. What is סוחר עצמו לזמן? What's the difference if he's socher
So
la'atzmai
Saharat this
or
man, that's what we're saying. That for example, the guy with the Mishnayis, if his deal with them is I'm learning X amount of hours of Mishnayis,
hours? Mishnah
then he's
doesn't make
gonna
a
be
difference.
dinay kepayil
Yeah,
because he's hourly. If his deal is I'm learning X amount of Mishnah, doesn't make a difference how much time I'm learning X amount of Mishnah. Then dinay kikablin because it's job based. It's not hour based. So then dinay kikablin.
yeah. יש לו דין פועל, אבל אני צריך לעצמי להתבשר, ואין לי שלום מדין מלמד. ואם לא נאנס וחוזר בוי, ואם הויו, do you want to finish the hay, or do you think it's too much of a big bite?
It's still gonna go. Let me just see if it's talking about the same. Yeah, I think let's focus on this piece here with the Melamed first.
Okay,
Let's
so
focus on let's focus on Ramon and on the
the
focus on
Ramot,
Ramon.
we do till the end of the Ramot until ve'im lo nenas v'chozer till the last line, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So let's do the Sman, the Shach, and the Ketzais on this.
Okay. Okay, I think we have to do Shach first because the Shach has Melamed Choizer. The Smed doesn't really talk at all
Right,
because
he
he's
jumps till later.
to the Sefer, right? So that's not
Yeah, yeah. So let's look at the Melam Dafezer Beivuchulu.
okay. Dog the Sme. Anything else over here? No.
No, the
No.
Smer was
Dog the
just
Shach.
was
Yeah, you're
was
right.
just
Still
was going to
Sefer
be
Torah.
Shach Sivkat Nechavav.
Okay, who had in sorry, מלמד חויז וכולי פירוש, מלמד נקרא דובר העבוד, מטעם שכל עץ ורגע שהתינוק הולך ובוטל, הוא פסיידא דלהודר. It's a loss that cannot never be made up for.
Yeah,
That's
he was mevatel the limud of this kid.
yeah, בספר המקבל ספר נקרא דובר העבוד, מטעם שהספר בכסיבס ידי שני סופרים הוא מקולקל.
Yeah, it's a damaged product. It's written by two different handwritings, like you said before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It, I tied it to somebody that, and I argued with this. His film Shel Rosh got puzzled,
yeah,
and he replaced the film Shel Rosh, not Shel Yad was good, with the Alter Rebbe's Ksav, which he had in the Shel Yad also. So mitzvah that it's not a problem. It's
right.
not like two different ksivas. And the Sofer says, it's a good and fine. In Ichol gehalten, afilu lehaloche, it is fine. It's not. It doesn't cut it the same as if one Sofer wrote
because
it.
it's a Sefer Mekulko.
Do hostaraya.
Yeah. You see, the
I
Sefer
Baruch Shekabad,
B'Ksivas
yeah, I think,
Yidei Shtei Shnei Sefer Mekulko,
yeah. I don't think this only applies to Sefer Torah. I think
and especially. No, I agree with because
I know the Lomdus.
because a mezuzah is a mezuzah, right? Each mezuzah in my house is standalone. But the tefillin, the mitzvah of the tefillin is totally einaf and zweiten. So
That's today's. That's today.
I think it's like you're saying. I think it's like
Even 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 even
even if
even
the
the
halacha
halacha is
it's not
kosher.
right, but it's
Not the same. It
but
doesn't
it's
cut it
still
the same.
it's not muhuda. You're not
No, I think
it's
as
because
far
they're
in Hebrew.
connected to each other and it's idation they say for them. It's like a dove mekulkul, yeah.
Yeah, bitam the Sefer B'Ksivos in the Sofer Mekulkel. I mean, I said before I saw this, Libi Hayoimerli, that this is not, it cannot possibly be as Mehuda. Hagam that, that kosher idos, and nobody argues because the ikar paid there is to have ukshartam le'oser adecho, v'hoyu tedefes menecho, ksivas shel yad should first be written, and the ksivas shel lo should be, and he's satisfied that. He's,
Right. Yeah,
because,
right.
because he's
Yeah.
writing it now,
Right. Right. So
long
for sure he's
after.
satisfying that, yeah.
But
But it's ksivas yachnei say for him.
yeah, so it's not. Ich rede nicht lehaloch. Ich rede
yeah, no,
lehid.
because the halacha you can tie das the shal yad and das the shal reish, but
I want to tell you
the
something.
pale
You're learning Menachos also. You're learning this is today's Gemara. We're learning today's Gemara. Yeah.
Yeah.
Agav. When I was a bocher, there was a drowning, lo aleinu, in Gan Yisrael. A kid drowned in Gan Yisrael, and the place was surrounded. Very, very, very sad story. And they gave in a tzedel to the Rebbe, told the Rebbe what happened. The Rebbe said, "Must check in the al mezuzahs." The Camp Gan Yisrael has a lot of mezuzahs, hundreds of mezuzahs.
You're right. That's
Listen to this. All the mezuzahs were kosher. The only thing that was not right, it was only a hidur. What's a hidur? The lamed. You know a little bit of Sofras, right? It was Molgelante. You learned the. That's all you need.
yeah.
The Beis Yosef writes in Simon Lamed Beis that the neck of the Lamed, yeah, the roof of the Lamed, the above, has two spikes protruding on the Yud.
Right.
The right one and the left one.
Yeah.
Beis Yosef writes, "Veyichtoi veyase shel yamin yoser gavoya mishal shmoy." Because of Midas HaChesed, it's on the right. It's not Me'akev. It's not Mashma from the Beis Yosef Me'akev. It's not Me'akev. I mean, you tell this story to a soifer, he'll laugh in the face. How Me'akev? How many? You pass three-quarters of the. Unless it's but Afal Pikain, the Rebbe said to be matzrich.
And it's funny too because that's something you would expect more from the Shalom than the Beis Yosef. But
but that Agav Shmuel Wozner from Bad Mishmer Stam Olav Shalom, he said that what the Beis Yosef wrote, that's only by Yom Mahem. In today's world, where it is Gabru Haklipus and stuff like that, as a Ravi Paskin, so you've got to go all. And that's the logic of the Rebbe, why we put Rebbeinu Tams by Yom Mahem and not by Yom Makedim. And that's the logic why we learn Kabbalah and Hasidus today.
Right, why the Abisha didn't send the Baal Shem Tov back then? because
you had the Toitzvus, because you had the Rabbi Yehuda Chosid, because you had this and you have that.
But also because because
They could deal.
now for it to be revealed to everybody to learn it became more necessary
More
in the greater
necessary
darkness. Yeah,
because the state of
yeah,
the world. That's why.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Anyway. That's I just want to tell you the. Okay, weiter. ולפי זה במלמד, אם מעמיד לו מיד מלמד האחר, יוכל להחזיר בי.
Right,
He's
because
allowed
it's
to
not
quit.
because it's not like a sefer. A
He's
sefer,
allowed
the
to.
problem
He's
is who
allowed
cares
to
if you
quit.
hire somebody else?
He's allowed to quit, right?
Right. Yeah. Why? Because very simple. Because he's not being mevatel any time for the kid. Right away,
Yeah.
there's another guy. So it solves the problem of what makes it a davar avod. What makes it a davar avod is the tina keilechu batel. So if he has another guy to replace him right away, he arranged for another guy to replace him. So the tinnik is not keilechu batel. So it's not a davar avod anymore.
וכן, אם התינוק הולך בוטל בזמן שרגיל עם התינוק לילך בתלם, like ראש חודש ניסן, right? ובין כך יוכל למצוא מלמד האחר, ובזכורוי לכתוב ספר, נעמי, אם ידוע דלסק פיידה בכסיבס ידי בייס ספרים, כגון שמתחיל סוחר בייס ספרים לכתוב בספר כהגבנה, יוכל להחזר בי. So you see over
Right. So
here,
let's say in the first place he already hired two seifrim to do it,
yeah,
and now he's going to leave and it'll be a third seifrim. It's already you're not makbid on this because then why do you hire two seifrim in the first place? You should have hired one. From the fact that you hired two already, so you're not makbid on the kilkul that comes from that. So again, it's not him leaving is not creating a situation of davar avud.
yeah. ולזה
Yeah.
כוסף הרב רקמון בסומוך במלמד שסוחר עצמו לזמן, יש לו דין פועל.
And by the way, this touches upon what you said before, because you said before in the last time. So in these cases, davar avud. What if? Okay, fine. We're saying he can't find the person. What if taka he can't find the person to replace him and finish it? Is it still called a davar avud, right? And the Shach touched on it also before, but so it's mashma from here. The taka, you're right. No, if meaning he was talking urcha de milse is you can't find somebody to replace him and it's davar avud. If taka you could find somebody to replace him, so fine, so it's not a davar avud then. Meaning
Right.
if you can fix the thing that makes it davar avud, right? A davar avud is not an intrinsic thing.
No.
It's a situation. And if you can fix that situation, it's no longer davar avud. And there's no and you go back to a regular situation.
In other words,
either a payil or a kablan or whatever it is, a regular situation.
In other words, if prior to the what do you call it to fixing the situation, it was davar avod, then when you fix it, it's no longer davar avod. So
Right,
it's not something
right, because the whole because there's something that makes it a davar avod. If you're taking that thing away, it's no longer davar avod.
Yeah.
Like we see here beferish that here the melamed, because what's the problem? Stam mazay, you can't just find the melamed fast like that, and the kid's gonna have a problem. Okay, but if you could, then no problem. Same thing by a sefer. A sefer, it's usually
So what the Shach is doing now is delineated what is considered. He's giving guidelines. What's considered davar avod?
right.
In what cases you could.
Right. He's basically saying that in all of these cases, these are just examples that were brought because they're urcha de milse, that by them you tend to find davar avod.
Yeah.
Right. By these things you tend to find davar avod, but these things are lav dafka, and other things are lav dafka nisht.
Yeah.
He's bringing examples. Yeah.
Okay. I
see. You know what his question is the question that he doesn't ask the question, he just gives the answer. Is what do you mean he has a din pale and what do you mean he has a pale and a din kablan? By davar avod a din pale and a din and a din kablan is the same.
Yeah.
There is no pale and kablan. So he's explaining, so that what the Rama is talking about is now if you
Wait,
fix
this is when he's quitting, right? You're talking about the case where he's
yeah.
quitting.
Yeah, what do you mean din pale and din kablan? By David
Yes.
Avod,
So why?
a din pale and a din kablan is the Zal Bazach.
Yeah. So what difference does it make? That's the
Right.
question.
So he's saying,
Gotcha.
he's talking
Nafkamina
about now
imamid
if you fix.
loy melamed acher keter kamon sib zayin.
Yeah.
That then it's no longer dover ovud.
Yeah.
Ubesme suvkuchem sof
Steve Cotton
cotton.
Chavalit. Yeah.
We had that before, or
No,
not
not
yet?
yet. We're gonna
Not
see it.
yet.
We're gonna see it soon.
Inami nafkamina im keshesocher es hamelamed lo hoya moitze melamed achel diskoy. V'kai gavne lo mikre dover ovud.
Right, because all of this thing with the
Oz
David
yesh
Avod,
chiluk ben socher atmo lo ma dioch lachze boyim shom. You mean like this,
meaning like
that
this, the whole thing that we're talking about with David Avod, right, and all these penalties that you get for David Avod
if you had
apply.
another Eitzah, if you
Yeah,
had another Eitzah.
right. It applies that in the beginning you had another Eitzah, und jetzt hast du nicht. Now you have no
Aber
Eitzah.
Tom,
But
und
before you
Tom,
did, meaning if not for this Malamed, I could have hired another guy at that time. But if I anyways couldn't have hired another guy at that time, I didn't have an Eitzah in the first place. So he's not creating the David Ovid for me. I was in the first place in the case of David Ovid. My kid had no Malamed. Now this guy's coming, he's teaching. He's the only guy who's willing to teach. So now he's going to quit. You're going to tell him it's David Ovid. You would have been in a case of David Ovid without him anyways. So the requirement for David Ovid is that before you could have found somebody else.
Right, paket now. Hakol revach. Whatever he learned with you is hakol revach, because a
Right,
guy,
it's all cream on the top. Yeah, 100%.
he would have learned nothing, and now at least he learned.
At least you learned half a year. How about you?
Yeah,
You know?
he learned. Yeah,
You're gonna go penalize him.
very nice. Okay.
Right, so that's also he's saying. So this also could be what the Rama was talking about. In this case, also the nafkamina.
Those yesh chiluk ben socher atzmo lezman di yochel lachzer bo v'shomin lo ma she'oso im lilmod imoy sefer oz yesh lo din kabel ve'yodoi ala tachtena.
The shaman light. So in these cases, basically, we revert back to a davar she'ein avud. So what's going to be by a sachir and what's going to be by a kablan? And so this is two reasons why the Rama is telling us about this, because his whole shaila is, what's the Rama telling us if he has a din pale or a din kablan? There's no nafkamina. It's a davar avud. So here we see two things, two possibilities where it's not a that the Rama could be talking about that it's not davar avud. Either he found the guy to replace him right away, in which case it's not davar avud, or alternatively, in the first place he didn't have somebody without this guy. It's also not a davar avud. So in those cases, he has either a din payil or a din kablan, depending on how they structure the deal.
Ben socher lezman di yochel lachzer bo v'shomin lo ma she'oso ve'im lilmod imoy sefer oz
Right.
yesh lo din kablan. That's, for example, if he said, okay, I'm hiring you to teach me the whole of Shar Yichud ve'Emunah.
Yeah.
That's it must have, not the whole Tanya, just Shar Yichud ve'Emunah, right? And he quits in the middle. So Yoda Tachtene.
Yeah. But that's like a din kablan bedavar she'ene avud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deloi kesefer agudas ezev daf kuf zayin shekosov harav mezake shtora aliba de beitrei. Ve'niach dover harav betzorich. We're talking about over here, shemezake shtora liba de beitrei. אם יש טראבלן ביודע תחתיני, שום למאי שעושה לעשות. I think, I mean, I don't want to do guesswork, but I think he's trying to say that you make a contract. A liberty trade means that
Like you're like playing both
you
sides of the
finish
field, sort
one,
of.
whatever one doesn't finish, the other one is going to finish, right? Then I think a liberty trade means taking into account both. No, not that. It doesn't mean that. That, in other words,
I feel like
if it would have, if it
borrowing
costs
terms.
$50 for half a day, right? And he did only half a day. So to find the, before paying him, he has to find out how much money the second person is going to cost, is going to charge him. I think that's what liberty betray means.
Like what? Like he's almost like playing both sides of the field or something like this.
That you don't pay the first guy $50 for half a day until you establish.
Until you establish what the other guy's.
I think you know, one good place to check now in the Aruch Shulchan.
Mizake shtar levei trei. Mizake shtar לשני אנשים. ומוסק תלמודיה מסייחס למצבים, בהם שטר או מסמך משפטי מועבר או עמד לרשוס שני צדדים.
Yeah.
I think he's borrowing a term to mean something from the Gemara. It means it means a star that awards something to two conflicting parties. Why? I'll tell you what the sugi is in Psachim. In one place, Rabbi Yossi says, "Reya ani is divri Rabbi Eliezer b'zvachim." V'dir Rabbi Shub Zvachim, V'dir Rabbi Eliezer ben Nachis, V'dir Rabbi Shub ben Nachis. He says conflicting things. In one place, he says he agrees like this one, and another place he says like the other one. So Papa asks Abaye, Rabbi Yesi, Shtarim Mizakil Veitrehu. Rabbi Yesi, he's like a document who's awarding. I'll tell you what it's like. It's like there's a Maisa. Is this what it means? There's a Maisa. The guy comes. The two guys come. They're arguing before the Rav, and the one guy tells the Rav why he does call, and the Rav tells him, "You're right." Other guy comes and tells him what's it called? And he tells me, "You're right." So a third guy says, "What do you mean? How can they both be right?" He says, "You're also right." So this is what it means. It means he's arguing on him. It means he's conflicting himself. He's contradicting himself. So he writes
How
that
do you fit in Pshat over here? Not clear. I guess
it's mizakish Torah libed debate today that it's a document that's
yeah.
awarding two conflicting parties, both of the
The Toiveh and the Nitva?
right. It's like if you're telling him that you're both right. You're right. The Tevea comes and you say you're right, and the Nitva comes and says you're right. What do you mean you're right and you're right? How can they both be right? It's a conflict.
Which case is considered? Which case in our
It's not here. He's
thing?
here. Oh, you mean here? That on the one hand he's talking about by he's talking about David of like by David Avud, right? The David Avud they're the same. There's no difference. And on the flip side, he's implying that by David Avud there's an afkamina bein kablan le It's basically it's a fancy way of saying what the Ramah is saying is a contradiction, and he leaves it b'tzarchi, and he doesn't have an answer to why the Ramah is would bring this up here. He doesn't understand why the Ramah is bringing this up by Davar Avud. There's no nafkamina by Davar Avud
By Kablan and the
So why is this so? So why is he bringing it up? And he leaves it tzarchi, and he doesn't understand why he's bringing it up here. The Shach, on the other hand, right?
Yeah.
He says loitzik sefer agudas eziv. No, he's not. The meaning the kitzur the agudas eziv says that the Ramah is contradicting himself here, and the Shach says no, he's wrong. He's not contradicting himself here. And I just brought you two possibilities of what the Ramah is not talking about. Is that is basically he's explaining that what the Ramah is explaining to you here is that by a davara avud, if he could fix it, it's not a davara avud, and it was and also if it was a davara avud in the first place, it's not a davara avud, and not like the Agudas Ezev that says that the Ramah doesn't make sense here.
Okay, weiter.
But it's basically that phrase means he's contradicting himself.
Right.
And he borrows it from the Gemara in Pesachim where Papa tells Abaye that Rabbi Yossi is contradicting himself. Because in one place he says he holds like this one, and in another place he says he holds like this one. Which one is it? You can't. Those two they're arguing on each other. How you could hold by this one and by this one?
Yeah.
It's a beautiful phrase though. Even if it's not like him. Fine. Oh. Right, what's it called? What did he say? Why? Me based tamim. Because and he's wrong. Why? Because of the two reasons that I just wrote.
Okay.
So yeah, weiter v'chein hu ba'agos ashri.
V'chein hu
On the first wide line.
Yeah. Uh, okay. וכושם בעצם, וכן הוא והגוס השביעי, פרק אומנין, וזה שונה, מלמד שנזכר באיש היו מלמדים מצוין יויסר מעכשיו. כמו כן, אם לא יצטרך, התינוק להתבטל בכך, רק דובר מות. Okay, 1 second.
So
So
he's
first
saying
of
that
all,
Gus Ashri is agreeing with
with the logic which says that
that if you're mevatel, the thing that makes it a davra avod, it's no longer a davra avod.
but he's talking about over here when there were a lot of melamdim and therefore it
Right.
was a davar avot.
Or it was not.
Okay.
Then it's not a davra avod if it's a lot of malamdim. Why? Because you can find somebody.
No, but it's a davar avot now.
Zagen beisa hayu malamdim between yosem yachshav. Malkim im loit tzarach atinik l'tzbatel b'kach rak davra muad. You're going to do it.
Ein Minute, mir hat
Loy
gesagt
havi
früher,
davra avod ki im lefi eises man. Okay, right. Meaning the malamed can't quit. Right,
because
but he can only not quit for he can't not quit forever. Meaning, let's say he took on a year to teach him. Now it's half a year and he wants to quit. He can't quit. But let's say there's a lot of malamdim and in 2 weeks you can find somebody. Fine, so he can't quit now, but he can quit in 2 weeks. It's only a davara avod for the next 2 weeks. It's not black and white. It's a davara avod. It's ain't a davara avod. For these next 2 weeks, that because it takes 2 weeks to find a new malamid, so for 2 weeks he can't quit. It's a davara avod, and after 2 weeks he can quit. It's no longer davara avod. It's only davara avod l'fyesi as man. So this supports what the Shach is saying is that a davara avod is situational. It's akel l'fyenian.
let's go.
Yeah.
So what? So
Yeah. So that's so now the Agoy, I think he's continuing in Agoy Sashri is let's say this is a kid who, if the Melamed leaves for, let's say, those 2 weeks that we're talking about, that you can't find a Melamed, but this kid is not a kid who needs constant help.
I don't understand the other case. I don't understand the other case.
Which other case?
מלמד שנזכר באיש שהיו מלמדים מצוין יוסף מעכשיו.
Wait, where are we?
At the end of the מלמד שנזכר באיש שהיו מלמדים מצוין יוסף מעכשיו.
Yeah. Meaning he's saying like this. What the fact that we're calling a melamed davara avud so directly is because now Taka in our time currently that he's talking about, that's the way it is now.
When he's quitting.
This whole situation, he's saying the whole situation.
The time that he's quitting, it's davara avod.
Not just the time he's quitting. He's saying in our day and age. Here in 1632, right? In the year 1632, where we live, it's hard to find melamdim. However, what if it's a place, right? And not just it's hard to find melamdim, ad kidei kach that it's mashma that it's hard to find melamdim even for half a year, even half a year from now, and therefore it's a davar avud. But what if you're in a time and place where you could find the melamid in 2 weeks? So then only 2 weeks is called the davar avud, not the whole half a year that he's going to be missing. Meaning, if you're in a place where there's more melamdim, that it won't take you half a year to find another Malamed. It'll take you only 2 weeks. Or whatever the amount
I don't
is. 2
understand.
days,
It
2
says,
weeks.
we're talking about over here, Be'ez shehoyu melamdim metzuyin, right?
Yeah, Yeser Me'achshav, meaning more so than in our current day, place and time.
And then what? Then it's not Dover Avud.
Then so then it's a Davara Avud, but
What?
it's only a Davara Avud if he
It's over.
makes his
It's the.
mind.
I mean, it's the Dover Avud.
Only for those 2 weeks
The time that he could have.
that it takes for him to get a new guy.
I mean, why is Dover Avud? He could get a new guy.
Right, but it'll take 2 weeks. So for those 2 weeks, it's a Davara Avud, and after those 2 weeks, it's no longer Davara Avud. That's his point. His point is he's showing how Davara Avud is not a concrete thing. It's situational. That
So
what we're talking about here, what we're talking about that Amo was talking about, what we're talking about that a Melamed is a Davara Avud. We're talking about in a place or time where you can't find a Melamed in 2 weeks. You can't even find for in 6 months a Melamed, maybe.
So then it's Dover Avud, right?
But yeah. But if let's say you could find in 2 weeks a Melamed, so for those 2 weeks it's a Davar Avud. After that, no longer. It's only a Davar Avud because it takes 2 weeks to find the Melamed.
Okay,
so for those 2 weeks, it's a Davar Avud.
Practically speaking, how do we deal with this over here?
Practically speaking, for 2 weeks, the Melamed it falls under the category of Chayzer Bay B'Davar Avud. After the 2 weeks, he's a Chayzer Bay. So let's for example, let's say he gets paid by time. Let's make it easy. Let's say he gets paid by time, right?
For 2 weeks, he's not going to get paid.
Because and right, and not only is that really and not only that, it's usher for him to leave, unless nanas. After 2 weeks, he's a payil. He can walk out on you. He's a payil. Yodi al yena, and you have to pay him for what he did.
Okay, that's by
why?
Payil.
Because the Davar Avud situation is only for those 2 weeks that it's Davar Avud, and after that, it's no longer Davar Avud.
Okay, that's
so
by
this supports
Payil.
what the Shach is saying is that Davar Avud is not concrete; it's situational.
But that's by a Payil, right? But what would be by
by a Kablin? He could still leave. Remember, it's still different. A Kablin is different than by Davar Avud and Eina Avud. So by a Kablin, if let's say he's a Kablin, he could still leave only what would be Yodi ala Tachtaina, but he could still leave, as opposed to by Davar. So for 2 weeks, he's not allowed to leave. He has to continue. After 2 weeks, he can leave and Yodi ala Tachtaina, or if he's a Payal, Yodi ala Yena. But the point being that this matzav of Davar Avud is if that matzav changes, okay, so for 2 weeks you can't find somebody. It's a Davar Avud for those 2 weeks because you're being mevatel. The student is heiluchubato. After 2 weeks, listen, you had 2 weeks to hire somebody, and in our current place and time, in 2 weeks it's reasonable you could hire another Melamed. So now it's on you. You should have hired another Melamed. It's not my problem anymore. For 2 weeks you couldn't. It was a Davar Avud take. At the end of those 2 weeks, it stops being a Davar Avud.
Gotcha.
And now the Hagoysa is going to bring another similar case.
Wait 1 second. Is it a new din this or what?
No, this is the same. Yeah, so only for that time that you can't find somebody to Davar Avud.
It is, but that time, right?
Yeah, but only for that time, yeah.
But and not permanently.
Now it's another similar case.
גם בלוי לימוד פאום משום בריאוס תינוק שנוצים לו מעט רווח מן הלימוד ואין כיפי נויסוי אלו לצייני. ואם אין האב רוגל לדחוק עצמו על זכירוס מלמד בזמן מות.
Meaning, let's say this particular kid
Yeah,
right?
he's self
Either he's a good learner or a very bad learner. Either way,
he's
if he's a good learner,
self-motivated.
right? Look, I'll give you an example. Let's say, Rav Kasimov had a bris. He had to leave for a week. Okay, but in Aruch Habura, it's assumed that you'll be able to sit and continue learning for the week, even without his shir. You weren't hailuchu batel,
Self-motivated.
right? And not just self motivated, but and you have the skill set. We could still what's it called? Yeah, but we need the shir,
Of course.
but we're doing fine without it right now. So him leaving for a week is not creating a situation of David Avud
Right.
like this, or
Or
alternatively, what
the
if it's
other
a kid
case.
that can't push it? He anyways can't concentrate, and he anyways from time to time you need to give him a week off so he can get his head
Function.
straight.
Yeah.
Same thing. So it's not a double. So the bottom line is the Melamed is not creating a situation of David Avud.
Right.
Again, supporting what the Shach is saying is that David Avud is not concrete, right? It's not a static thing. It's dynamic. It's לפי העניין.
וגם בלא לימוד פעמים שהוא בריאוס לתינוק שנויסים לו מעט רווח מן הלימוד ואין כופין נויסו אלא לצוינוי ואם אין האב רוגל לדחוק עצמוי עד זכירוס מלאמה הוא said
So that was another thing.
yeah, if the father is not doesn't force himself.
Right. Right. Meaning, let's say for the 3 weeks before he hired this Malamed, his kid was sitting there and he wasn't makbid. So if you're not makbid on it, you showed yourself you're not makbid on it.
Oh, but
I'm not creating a David Ovid for you.
Yeah, but Taka is not going to get paid.
That yeah, because you're not going to get paid for what you didn't do.
Exactly.
But meaning, and then it depends.
You can quit. You can quit.
And if it's based on time, yod alel yeno. If it's based on job, yod al tachtayno. But you can quit.
Right.
And you'll either get paid lefi masha osa or lefi masha osid lases. Either depending.
Yeah.
Right? Avol im derech ha'av litchik atzmei al schirus b'nei mach mas psid lehadar. Right? He wants his kid to be constantly learning, and he's makbid on this. Umalamed havi peil v'lei kablon. Oh, sorry. Havi davar avod. Then it's a davar avod. And then continues like guys.
A minute. At schirus b'nei that's more because at is damen loy lo have davar avod.
Right.
Because
because the father was anyway, he was never makbid on this thing.
So we have three options. If the guy is a masmid beteva und it's about kishrein, right? Das heißt, ich davar avod, weil geht sich jetzt anyway.
Right.
Oi bis a schwachinker Kind, was darf haben ein bisschen Luft. It's not called now if the father for small amount of time he's not makbid.
Not makbid. Also, it's not a davar avod.
So even though the chiddush is even if the kid does need the help, but
the father's not makbid on this. So how am I causing you? Meaning how are you coming to Taina? I'm causing you a loss when you
yourself are not
that you yourself don't care about this loss.
Right.
But to me, you're going to Taina about your great loss.
Right.
You yourself don't care about this.
Aber im derech ha'av litchok atzmo al schirus b'nei machmas pseida de lehoder.
Then have a davar avod.
Have a davar avod.
Yeah.
Umelamed have a poyel v'lo kablen. Vim socher hu lilmod kol ha-sefer ol chetzei o kovlo izman di yochel kablen oz choshev kablen.
Right. So is this so this is another thing he's showing that Goyis Ashri is bringing from that Goyis Ashri to support everything he's saying.
Here you learn out the very interesting thing. Because of Mitzvah Melamed, it's teaching him either a Maimah or Kriyas HaTorah.
Right, right.
I think that's the way they do nowadays. They tell a
It's
price.
not clear because even though they do, they get paid by time. They don't get paid by the job usually. I mean, maybe it's different ways.
I don't know. I
Because
did both.
usually, or at least when I was growing up, some kids needed more work and some kids needed less work.
It's very
And the
hard for
kids that needed
Melamed.
more work took more. So what he would do is he would start learning with the kid, and
Yeah,
then based on where the kid is holding, but it wouldn't be a deal that I'm doing by mitzvah lessons for X amount. It would
yeah,
be it's going to be by the hour, and then he would sit and discuss with the father based on what your kid's holding. He needs once a week, and then 2 months before we'll make it we'll make it twice a week. He would discuss what this kid needs, and then the father would say, okay, fine, so we'll do it like that. Some kids he would tell the father, listen, if he's going to know it properly. He's gonna have to start already now doing 2 times a week, and you would pay him by the time. So when I was growing up, we paid by the time.
fine.
So yeah, but that's a qualification. But what he's showing is he's showing that the Ramah, right, is that the Agudas Ezev he's saying is wrong, because you see because how he explained, and furthermore he's bringing showing that the Hagoy Soshri also same thing, and the Ramah fits very nicely into this Hagoy Soshri.
Yeah, very good. Ich darf jetzt gehen, weil
Yeah. Let's
es
finish
war
the last
ja the last one. Im hoye
right.
moitze poile machen niskor
Uh,
gesocher selo.
no, you don't have to finish. Just
Oh,
the last.
im yesh lo
Ad Khan.
poel
Okay.
khula.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fine. Yeah.
mit poel khula.
Wait, this one, no. This one, no, that one is going to go on for a while.
Oh, so we did till the end of the Ramah, right?
Yeah, so we're going to start again.
We're gonna start from Be'im lo nenas v'chozar.
Well, we still need to do the rest of the smez, but yeah.
We have more smes to do.
Yeah, one more.
Okay, let's do it.
Fine, so
Im hoye
Chaf
moitze
and
poile
Chapala, two
machen
small ones. So Chaf,
נכתב
yeah.
ספר אחד, הספר שנכתב בכסיבס יד שני ספרים הוא מנומר ומקרה מקולקל.
Yeah, fine, same like the Shach said.
יש עדיין פועל אף שכבר סוס מורם, because I feel it בהגו, מלמד שחוזר בו מקרה דובר עבוד, אין שם. דיבר עבוד, כוסף שם, דאין חילוק בין פועל לקבלן,
Same
מקומות
Shaila.
המציל, דאיס בניו, כגוין, הוד, the cause of הטור לשולחן ערוך בסוף מזמדם, אם יש פועלים אחרים, לזכור מהם חולה,
Yeah, so he
אין שם,
brings Bekitzer one of the answers that the Shach brought.
that there is a difference. What
Yeah,
difference is
because
it?
why? Because it could go back to being not David Avod, and then it'll be a difference again. Fine,
Goyach,
good.
schönen
Okay,
Dank.
fine. We'll continue by Vimlo Nenes next time. Yeah, sure.
Thank
Thank
you, thank you very much. Bracha
All right,
Thank
v'hatzlacha
bye.
you.
v'chol.
Sorry
Amen.
for coming late.
No problem.
Yeah,
I was trying to get off the phone and this guy wasn't getting off.
just make sure you watch the beginning, or there'll be a pop quiz next time.
Now that you mention it, I'll put it on.
I mean, your mamish only missed a few minutes, anyways.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. But this is me with the beard out, in case you want to. In case you were wondering. All right, good. Scrap again. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you're
Sure.
over. You had to compensate from me having a gray shirt on, huh?
I'm wearing a sweater without my shirt today.
No, but usually
Fine.
I have a white shirt. But
Yeah.
but in the evening I'm